Minecraft, the game which took over the world, and I completely missed it. But now, 11 years later, I'm playing Minecraft survival mode, and I'm officially the worst player to ever step foot in Minecraft. If you're new around these parts, this is the series inspired by Luke the Notable and his 100 Days series. The thing is, I don't have a clue how to play Minecraft, and the rule here is quite simple. I cannot ask for help or use the internet in any way. Everything I learn is through playing the game. Alone. All alone. I recommend watching part 1 before you see my struggles this time around, so if you're ready, let's noob this. Day 101. I haven't played Minecraft in a few months, and the first day was spent looking around my home base. I quickly remembered how to farm again before clearing a little space around the area. Then I saw an Enderman snooping around and remembered I was never really safe here. So to end my first day, I completed my golden armor. I like golden armor. I can already feel you judging me, and it's only day 1. The next day, I wanted to get to work again, and my plan was to bring my villagers from their home miles away all the way back to this hobbit hole. I decided to use the train track we set up in the last episode. I simply bumped them into the minecart and sent them on their way. It was surprisingly easy, to be honest, but it took a long time. When the first guy arrived, I accidentally hit him and he ran away and never came back. RIP. Update! Only a few minutes later, I found out that the minecart didn't always get the lads to the man cave, and found myself in a villager sandwich. Long story short, I got most of the gang there and gave them a barracks to live in. Things were coming together, our family was growing. Day 104, I returned home to see this thing in my bedroom. I left him alone and decided that bed was no longer my own. Day 105 was a mining day. I wanted this mountain gone, but I gave up. I got bored. I ventured out into the night and quickly remembered going out at night just isn't worth it. The following morning, I found the runaway villager and tried to woo him back home. Before I knew it though, those grey marauders returned for another battle. Oh no, a raid started. If my first 100 days taught me anything, it's not good to get involved in these things and just come back in a few days. On day 107, my llamas returned, Luke and Leia. I decided to bring them indoors this time to make sure they didn't run away or despawn again. I also tried to use a name tag. It does nothing right now. I'm sure I'll figure that out soon enough. The next morning, I woke up to find this guy watching me sleep, which is strange because it's usually me watching your mum sleep. Wow. That's incriminating. I was so sick of the raid bar on screen, so I decided to take out the last remaining marauder. That was a bad choice. There's my first death of the episode. It's gonna take a long time before I can try hardcore mode. On the evening of day 109, my world was shattered. My family of villagers who moved in with me have been murdered. I found this pig warrior dude in their room. It looks like keeping a portal in the same room as guests is not advisable. Full of vengeance, I broke the Iron Giant free and let him take revenge for our people. Our nod was the sign of our shared anguish. It's already day 110. I was thinking about how that pig man came through the portal, and I thought it must be safe to travel the other way. Just in case there's lava there, I decided to take a bucket of water. My master plan was to throw it down the second I got there. Here's how that plan went. I really suck at survival. Day 111, I made a conscious choice to be more productive with my time and began a new build. I'm a total novice at building, but I am proud of that hut watch on the hill and wondered if I could make a castle. At this point, I still didn't understand the materials I could use and always used way too much cobblestone. But I'm having fun. On day 113, I changed my idea from a castle to a pagoda, which is like a Japanese house thing. If you don't know what that is, stick with me for a few more minutes and I'll show you. As the sun set, the base was in place. The next day brought rain. It made me realise how grey and boring my pagoda will be, so I hatched a plan. I needed wool. I made a fenced off area to keep my sheep from running away and slowly tempted a sheep over. It took a long time, but eventually I brought together 2 sheep and began my second animal farm, and they immediately started smashing out kids. My final idea was to dye the adult sheep pink. And look, it worked. I now have pink wool on demand. I know this is tiny stuff for you guys, but for a noob like me, this was big brain territory. Day 115, I made shears and used them. I fed the sheep to thank them, and then realised pink dyed sheep have pink offspring, just like real life. Also, a quick shout out to the Slender Enderman for giving me jump scares all week. The following morning, I began to use pink wool in my pagoda. This was pretty good, but another big brain moment I had was to use trapdoors as windows. They really do look legit. Day 117. It actually looks like a pagoda. My enthusiasm grew. On day 118, I returned from a toilet break, and I was scared senseless. The Slender Enderman no longer wanted to be bros. I ran for my life, and that night, the rack hives were back, and I have a feeling these guys are to do with when I don't sleep enough. I'm not certain, but I reckon that's how it works. The following day was spent learning about wood and realising which woods would look better together. I realised I hardly ever looked at the pagoda from the front, and on day 120, after a tough night in the mines, I found this shot from my hobbit house. I'm happy with that. For a new builder with no reference material, that's pretty good. Day 121. I was back in the mines collecting obsidian for another portal over at the pagoda. Whilst mining, I was almost burned alive. But luckily, I'm starting to react a little better and survived. Maybe I actually could play hardcore one day. The next morning, I was given a jump scare from my llama. I spent the rest of the day on the farm. This place is a mess thanks to creepers, explosions, and that Slender Enderman dude taking blocks randomly. I'll fix it up one day, but that's not today, because today, I gotta get meat. If you're watching Vegan Jeebus, please forgive me. The next day was dedicated to clearing the pagoda ready for the new portal. And when I built that portal, I needed more obsidian. I actually stole a block from the failed portal and put it to good use. We now have Portal 2. This one is definitely thicker than the original portal. I did a little bit of dumb science to see if the corner of the portals were needed, and if size really doesn't matter. Also, I made a gate outside to prevent anything that comes out of that portal from escaping. I put pink wool on the sides because I'm also very masculine. Day 124, time to go into the nether again. I was worried and decided to bring cobblestone with me, and my mission the moment I got there was to build a protective hut around the portal to keep it safe. But that went out of the window right away, because check this. My portal spawned 20 feet away from the original portal. What are the chances? And look, a villager is still alive. They are now living in the nether. All my unburnt items were here too. This honestly was an epic gamer moment. But I realised I had a job to do. I made a protective wall that Donald Trump would be proud of. I suddenly met an underworld dweller, and although I was scared shizzleless, he didn't attack. So it seems as long as I don't hurt them, a truce will be kept. The job now was to find a way to rescue Derek. Yes, I've named him Derek. He was a step away from death, so I scooped up the lava and watched Derek frolic in hell. I also found nether quartz, whatever that is. It's a good day. I came back the next day to harvest those rocks on the roof. I have a crippling vertigo issue in Minecraft, but knew if I kept crouched, I couldn't fall to my demise, and slowly went towards those glowing cubes. I forgot to crouch, and now, yeah, I'm still a noob, but hey, I'm still alive. The next time I was way more careful and made it to the new material, which, like always, I have no idea how to use. Happy days. Day 127, I decided to see if fast travel was now an option for me, and I realised I could travel quickly using the nether portals rather than walking. 16 seconds to get from my hobbit house to the penny pagoda. This is a result. The rest of the day, I messed around with nether materials. On day 128, I made a mistake. While in the nether, I dared to look at the ender dude. Boxing in this portal was the greatest decision of my digital life. Now day 129, I was looking through the crafting books and noticed this bad boy, an enchanting table. I felt this was a good thing to own now my villagers have mostly met their makers, so off I went to find all the pieces. I figured out paper and books easily enough, but diamonds were the bane of my life. It took 3 days to find 2 diamonds, but hey, it's enough to make an enchanting table. It's day 132. Here is my enchanting table. I totally love the animation, by the way. So I decided to use it. And no, I don't have a clue how to do that either. On day 133, I was on the farm again, and I have to admit, these ender dudes are the most annoying things as they're always moving my blocks. At some point, we will need to attack them. The next day, I made shelves around my portal, going for a Harry Potter sort of theme in here.
You're a wizard, Harry.
But in the end, it just looks like a widescreen TV. As day broke on day 135, I tried to enchant a sword and realised all that blue gold actually has a use. Lapis lazuli for the win. Yes, I had issues. I didn't know how to actually apply it. Anyway, the next day I woke up bright and early and I was determined to figure it out. And look at this, I'm a mother-fudging sorcerer. So many things clicked today. I now understand why those XP levels are important and the use of lapis lazuli. And that was probably the biggest day of learning I've ever had. And I actually accidentally figured out that more books around this table equals higher levels. So I just need to figure out what on earth unbreaking means and the other ones, and then I might be getting somewhere with this game. I stayed in the mines on day 137. It was boring, so let's move on. On day 138, we're back in the nether. I decided to see if I could change the profession of Derek. I sure could. He'll now sell me books about vanishing. I've never needed vanishing in social groups. Nobody never knows I'm there in the fields. I set up my librarian with a bed and a storage unit to make him feel a little more at home. When I arrived back in the real world once again, I caught the eye of the Ender Dude, moving my stuff around again. I decided today this would be my stand, and I looked him in the eye. I found the perfect hiding spot from his torment and systematically took him out. This is my home, I will defend it. After teabagging him, I noticed he gave me an Ender Pearl. Could this be something important? Through the night of day 140, I decided to fix the holes around the farm. It took forever. I need a groundskeeper. As day broke on day 141, another Enderman decided to throw down. I took his pearl thing from his lifeless digital corpse. Day 142, and back to the pagoda. Today was time to add a fence and bridge across the moat. Today I also saw a skeleton riding a spider. Minecraft is weird. So weird. Now day 143, I moved my llamas to act as deterrent to portal invaders. I have no idea where the Iron Giant ran off to. The rest of the day was spent in the mines gathering lapis for badass sorcery enchantment. The next day I decided to look around the nether a little more and chose to mine in a straight line. I mined into lava. Let's pretend that didn't happen, okay?
He needs some milk.
Day 145, I was going to sleep in the nether to make it my new spawn point, but the villager was already in full chillax mode. I guess I did make that bed for him, so I left it there. On day 146, I began to miss all my villagers and decided to go out adventuring again and find a new set. To keep me from getting lost, I dropped torches on the ground like breadcrumbs to follow back home. As night fell the following day, I did it! I found a new family. My favourites are Dave and Phil, who like to chill in the hot tub 24 hours a day. I accidentally slept here without realising, and now I'm stuck here. This is my spawn point. Panic began to set in on day 148. I tried to change the settings to see if I could spot my way home. I couldn't, and became absolutely lost. I took a best guess and made a sky bridge and prayed to all the gods, including Odin and Kratos. For days I continued, never losing hope, until it happened. On day 151, we made it home. I found Hutwatch and Penny's pagoda, and somehow, I now had a cat companion too. I'm not going to kill this one. I noticed how many people didn't like that in the last episode. I've learnt my lesson. So instead, please name our feline stalker. But right now, I had to figure out how to get down. Whew, gold armor saved me, right? I made this cool time-lapse of the night of day 152 and the morning of day 153. I wish I remembered to put my gold pants on now. Day 154. This cat is annoying me so much. I know I said I wouldn't off him, so this guy is going into a cattery instead. But once again, just as I did something constructive, the marauders returned. Up the Snake Eater ladder I went and took them all out. I wanted to see if a raid would start, as all my villagers have already died. No raid started, so now I know raids are about villagers. I legit pooped my pantaloons when this guy came in my front door. In the early hours of day 155, I put up another banner to show those marauders what happens when they mess with me. We now have 15. I finished the cattery just in time for the sunrise. And the damn cat got out. Little sh**. Day 156, I changed my mind and put llamas in the window pens. It took ages, but I think it looks cool. I'm like the off-brand collector from the Guardians of the Galaxy. On day 157, I decided to make enchantment rooms to see if I could change the sorcery on offer. Making the bookcases was a pain in the butt, as they can't be destroyed and replaced. Anyway, here's a start. Day 158, I pressed record at the wrong time. Look, Mafia Definitive Edition. Ooh. It's now day 159. I haven't been home for a week or two, so the last time I played Minecraft was a fortnight ago. So like usual, my first day was spent on the farm. I changed my irrigation system today and added a chest to collect the crops more freely. Before I could finish up though, the flying rats came back. I managed to kill one for illegally entering my property. For some reason, the audio hasn't recorded on the next few days, so I will be making all the sounds in Minecraft with my own mouth. Enjoy! I finished the crops the next day and also took out a cheeky Slender Man for another pearl thing. With my leftover crops, I fed the animals in the slaughterhouse-greenhouse combination. I accidentally hit a few. Totally accidental, okay? Day 161 was a day of science. I had the little marauder badge in the top corner, and I told myself when I finished my wall, I'd travel to see the last villager nearby to see if a raid would start. It sure did, and like usual, I was killed by an axe-wielding maniac. I decided to run back and get my own loot, even though night was approaching. I managed to grab everything except my sword, which is now missing. Great. Tomorrow, I will go back for my arrows. And I sure did. I realized how OP projectiles are in Minecraft. I grabbed a couple of flags and came back home. 17 on the wall now. Look at that. I learned that I need to improve tactically in battles if I ever want to progress to hardcore mode. Day 162. Today I decided to make a portal in the village I found 3 days away. Luckily my sky bridge cuts down that journey, and once I built up to it, it was a simple run. And only a few moments later into my trek, look, another village appeared. It's beautiful. Even though it was nighttime, I quickly blocked in all the inhabitants and rescued a villager stuck in a tree. Then I slept. This will be my home for the next few days. I decided we needed a wall to protect these guys, so I began to fill cave entrances and chop down trees, which the undead tend to hide underneath. Then this happened. I went boom and died from fall damage. Oh well, back to the wall. It's day 164. I started making a glass smelting pot. There's not enough time to show you what this is for in this episode. You'll have to wait for the next episode. Spam 300 in the comments if you'd like to see this noob series continue. Day 165, and I began building a basic wall around my villagers. I can't tell you how anxious I am, as every person I've met so far has gone deaded. I wonder if I'm the issue here. But now on my 4th attempt to be part of a thriving community, I was getting things done. By the end of day 166, there was a wall, sort of. No, it's basic, but basic is safe. I made sure the wall was fortified the next day, but however I tried, zombies spawned inside my walls at nightfall. On day 168, I tried to link my 3 homes with another portal. I chose this church-like place, but I didn't have enough obsidian, so I had to venture all the way back to the pagoda to get another. Upon arriving, half my drawbridge was destroyed. Meh, I'll get over it. Day 169. What else would you do on a day that ends in 69? I smashed my weapon into the face of an obsidian rock. Good memories. On day 170, I made my next portal. It's like the Eye of Sauron, but a seriously budget version. I jumped into the portal in the hopes I could see my previous ones, but no, there's no chance of that sadly. This is a new location in the Netherlands. In the distance, I noticed a new enemy type to slay, but I was way too scared today, maybe tomorrow. The next evening, I encased Sauron's portal in glass. Rip those villagers who died for me to learn this lesson, lest we forget. On day 172, I ventured back into the Nether in order to find that new enemy I saw a few days ago. But strangely, I actually found my OG portals instead, and spent the day making a bridge between the two for ease of travel. I then hunted down that new enemy, and it died immediately. I was completely underwhelmed, so I made the decision to update my game and see if the new Nether was better than the old one. Now here it is, the new Nether. Oh baby jeebus, it's epic. The pig dudes still like me because we both love gold, I think. We even hunted together before loads of them went swimming in lava. I chose not to join in, and I think they regret it. The problem in this new Nether was my portals. They have vanished. I ran to the pagoda and somehow that portal links to the same portal as the one from the Hobbit house. This is weird, isn't it? I decided to break that portal and remake it in the hopes of changing the spawn point. But then I realised I didn't have a diamond pickaxe. Shit. Day 175. I escaped the mine with more diamonds. On the morning of 176, I made it back to the pagoda and broke and remade my portal. It did nothing. It was a complete waste of a day. And then I was mercilessly pursued by hogs until I slowly died in lava. This game hates me. Day 177. I hate the new nether. Yesterday I accidentally hit a child in the face and now everything wants to kill me. All the hogs, all the pigs. I ran for my life to make sure they didn't get to murderize me, and I took my own life. By the way, I hate the nether. Did I tell you that? On day 178 I stood in the rain all day, feeling sorry for myself. That's the kind of guy I am. On day 179 I ran home as fast as my little legs could take me. I had a great idea. Hang on, what's that hissing noise? Yep, that happened. Anyway, I totally got home unscathed. The next day was spent in the mines looking for gold because gold is the best material. Oh, I found this. I think it's a spider spawner. I blocked it up and made a point to remember where it is. I forgot soon afterwards. On day 181, I had an epic battle royale moment with this set of skeletons. Every man for themselves. But of course, there could be only one champion. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. The morning of day 182 was ruined by the Enderman peeping through my windows again and leaving his rubbish on my window ledge. Wow. I've noticed that as the days go on, the Endermen are multiplying. They must be getting tips from your mum. I've been putting off going into the nether for a while now, but on day 183 I swallowed my pride and ventured forward. There was a skeleton waiting for me. That was inconsequential. I built around my portal again to keep things safe, but realised I hadn't been attacked by the pigs. It really is the gold that keeps them from going crazy. I told you that gold was the greatest material all those months ago. I learned how to trade today with the pigs by throwing gold at them. That was fun. In return, I got crying obsidian and soul sand. I have no idea what that means, but I'm liking the nether again. The next day I was done with seeing red everywhere and slowly cobblestoned the floor because the crimson was stressing me out. I ventured forward and found my second portal. I once again can fast travel to my villagers without travelling for an in-game day. But it's a little more dangerous now these hog things are here, but it's still worth it. On day 185, Operation Villager began. We all know that I suck at keeping villagers alive. They all have committed Sudoku over the last 185 days, so I decided to play God and revitalize the living. My plan was simple, to force 2 villagers into a cabin of love and then lock them inside until they bump uglies. I tried throwing food at them and stumbled across bread is the food of love, and then I overfed them for a day. Now day 186 and it finally happened! A beautiful moment between 2 fully clothed villagers. We now have tiny people. I threw in more bread. I want to build an army of dwarves. The following day I made changes to the baby making cabin, extending the lodge, adding beds and professions too. Everything they could want without going outside. This was strangely satisfying. It's day 188, the house is upgrading well, babies are being made left, right and centre, and my nether runs are fruitful. But I still have no idea what I'm looking for down here. If I had to guess, I'm thinking it will be an ender dragon that lives in a massive black castle. Am I close at all? Also, what is this? And why are they doing it? On day 189, I made a path between my 2 portal homes and kept on adventuring into the Netherlands. I made roads to help me navigate the vast underworld too. They stopped me getting lost so many times. The scary part though was travelling over lava pits. I kept having flashbacks to day 76. We don't talk about day 76. Day 190, this noise happened. I have no idea what I did, but I'm profoundly proud of myself. Day 191 now, and inside the nether, I found the scariest enemy ever. It spits pure fire. I made the decision to go home and grab projectile weapons. This war is on. Oh, hello, Ender Dude. Make yourself at home. We're gonna need arrows now, but I didn't have enough feathers, so it's time to make a chicken coop. For the next day and a half, as night turned into morning, I was back at home base trying to figure out a way to catch eggs without having to be there all the time. I don't understand how hoppers work, but after a few minutes, it's pretty simple. It essentially catches items and then delivers them into a container underneath. So I used it to make a chicken prison, complete with a pink floor for comfort. Now every time a chicken drops an edible nugget, I'll catch it. Hey, check this out on day 193. The pigmen had a dance-off after a successful hunt. I joined in, but I'm not one of the cool kids. They all walked away. Anyway, I have 4 crossbows and every single arrow I could muster. I was taking down Casper, the sadistic ghost. I marched across the bridge feeling like a total badass, but devastation struck. I was knocked off, and no matter how much I put off the inevitable, my 10th death had arrived. All of my items lost once again. And then I did it again straight afterwards. Why does this game hate me so much? I took a real world day off because this game was making me so angry. But anyway, I came back on day 194. Day 194, I'm back again. I needed XP levels to enchant my weapons and figured out that feeding animals on the farm gives super fast XP, 20 levels in about 60 seconds. But right away, in the nether, I was immediately sick of walking around. I still had no idea what I was looking for down here, and the time to find something before the episode ends was starting to stress me out no end. So I went back to the sheep farm. I had a change of plan, and it began with a new structure. The following morning, the erection began. I wanted something to look over the new villagers so they knew I would protect them in their hour of need. I dyed so many sheep on this day and needed their wool. I know it looks a bit not very good. It doesn't get much better, I'll tell you that now, and I'm very sorry this is my first attempt at a statue. On day 196, a creeper broke into my baby making cabin. It's okay, I survived, but the people, they escaped. Anyway, here's the statue. Yep, still not my finest work. I was using an image I was sent on Discord as reference, and I don't think I did a good job of following the blueprints. Anyway, all that scaffolding will be gone soon. That's simply there so I don't die when I jump off the top of that erection. 197, this build is so slow. It's the wool shortages. I have to go back to my farm to pick up crops, which I then feed to the sheep, which then make more babies, who then I scalp for their wool. It's a long process. Oh, and look at that. I actually finished the build on day 198. This is my ego statue, Adamaru the Noob. I'm thinking about burning it down. It's 98% wool, so I'm guessing it would catch a light, right? In fact, it's up to you. Shall we keep this or burn it down at the start of the next episode? I'll be in the comments to see what you decide. So it's day 199, my penultimate day of the episode. I bit the bullet and went back into the nether. Could I find something monumental before the end came? It was tricky business, so I used all my last diamonds to craft brand new gear. And then, after running away from a spitting Casper, it happened. I stumbled across a huge fortress-like castle. It was legit a little bit scary looking around. And then I saw this thing. I panicked and raced back into the corridors, but this time I came prepared. I built a new portal, an easy way to get back to this place right away the next day when things were safer. But there was something I didn't take into account. It's now my final day. The night is becoming dawn. Day 200. The portal worked beautifully. But now I'm stuck in this new area all alone. My choice is to either commit Sudoku and respawn back at home, forever risking never finding that black castle again in the nether, or I make this place my new home and start new the next episode. I'll leave that decision for you. What do we do next in this new playthrough? If you've made it this far, please take my thank you. I really appreciate it. I know this can't be fun watching an idiot play a game like Minecraft for so long. If you would like another episode, please hit me with the word 300 in the comments below, and I'll do my best to start episode 3 instead of waiting 4 months next time. Sorry about that. I do enjoy making this series, but it takes a long time. I'm happy to keep going. You're happy to keep going. I'm Adam. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for your time. I'll see you in the nether.